Hey YouTube, it's Mr.Iceshard, face reveal, and I'm going to review the recent chapters of Hajime no Ippo. And to be exact, this is going to be the chapters of 1311, 1312, and 1313. And I figured it would be a much quicker video too, rather than my other heavy, somewhat heavy edited videos of anime in the ring. And and I'm also excited because it's Ricardo, and we haven't seen Ricardo fight in a very long time. Not since at least Date or even, when he sparred against Ippo. So, as you can see, I have my Ippo shirt ready. And yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. Well, Ricardo Martinez versus Billy McCullens. That's going to be exciting. Both have never lost, so that's going to be pretty hype. And without further ado, grab your hands, start jump roping. Because now, it's time to review. Cool. Now we're at the start of chapter 1311, and it's about to go down. Both of them are staring down. It's gonna be some pretty hype stuff. So again, I'm just gonna shotgun. I would suggest read it for yourself, but from my takeaway from it, it's pretty intense so far from what Ricardo wants for sure. As we soon find out. And yeah, Ippo just kind of all the pressure of this man has, because if I remember correctly, he does have, I believe, 56 wins, or 58 wins, and 56 of them by way of knockout. And if I remember correctly, also, Ricardo Martinez is actually based off of rib boxer, Ricardo Lopez, which I actually do want to do a video on one day, probably sooner rather than later, actually. But I do want the fight to finish, like at least have, not more information, but the way how, the creator sees or makes Ricardo actually. And here's the crazy thing with Billy McCullen against Billy McCullen, who is undefeated. He drops down his arm, and they explain soon. Like, this is my favorite part of the chapter. The Philly shell. The Philly shell is like basically a defensive guard, different from like different other guards, but most popularly, the most popular, I should say, boxer to this day, or at least in the modern era, would be Floyd Mayweather. So it's kind of funny that, or not funny, but it's kind of interesting how, a modern day boxer and into like we see here with Billy McCullens, who's also a black American. So I find that pretty cool actually. But one thing I do love about Hajime no Ippo, or just manga in general, just like the over exaggeration where like the Philly shell, which that's what it's called when it comes with the guard and stuff like that, or say this, depends on your orthodox or southpaw. It's pretty funny because I never actually thought of it as a clamshell, so that's pretty funny. But as you can see, he has his. It's unpenetrable, one would say. And to be honest, it is pretty hard to get through. If you're a skilled fighter like Mayweather, who's probably one of the most defensive fighters in one of the modern era, aside from Ali and recently Canelo and other ones I can't really think of the top of my head. And here comes Billy, starts waiting back and forth. And crazy thing is, next chapter already, 13-12. You see, as you can see, he's revving it up. Yeah, it looks like he's about to do flipper jabs. There we go. And it's intense. It is getting like, sooner or later, one of these guys have to throw a punch. And it was Ricardo who threw it first. And Seno being all like, was waiting it all, and that's kind of true. Because you do have to remember, Ricardo is a veteran, and if I remember correctly too, he's in upper 30s. When it comes to boxing, being in your 30s is kind of like, it's pretty tough, especially, the physical condition you have to go through for training. Again, even in a fictional story, they do take into consideration the realism, obviously, Hajime no Ippo. But again, he's like constantly going after Billy, like, but nothing goes through because the clamshell, or the Philly shell, which originated in I guess the chapter previously said Detroit, and if not Philadelphia. But this is my favorite line of the chapter. You should know better. A real clamshell won't open up for someone so easily. And a Ricardo, perhaps an invitation then. And that's just, I just love that banter. Again, it's just funny, hilarious when how he can make such a popular guard actually, and just kind of like move it in such a shonen way, one would say, and I love it. And then constantly with the left, like non-stop, but Billy does block it, and that's the point of the Philly shell. It really does block a lot of hits. You know, the way you move, you could dodge a lot of punches. But I would say, I mean, if you're not well versed with it, obviously, you know, you need to have a good trainer. It's hard to dish out an attack, but it depends on, you know, who's the fighter is. Everyone's different, right? So the fighting continues, and so on and so on. And here comes, you know, you think Ricardo, I don't want to say got the upper hand, but he's launching attacks. Here comes the goddamn counter. But as you can tell, his head just in the nick of time. And it gave everyone chills. Now here's an interesting moment in the manga where he is bored of his matches, which I find pretty interesting. And basically, like Saitama, who's like, you're so strong, and like you're the one up on top and everything. He could predict every punch. He could feel everything, which is insane at that level of boxing. Which I can't say I understand, because you know, there's been times where like, man, I could have done better, or even if I did do good, I still wanted to do better than I did before. So you know, for himself, obviously he doesn't see himself as a god, but like to see himself at that like higher point where he's like craving for excitement in a boxing match, and he hasn't had that in such a long time, and that's why he's the #1 fighter in the featherweight division, and that's why he has the belt. I believe he has the WBA, which in real life, I believe it is a black with gold. I might be wrong on that. Don't quote tweet me. And as you can see, he wants to say like no one understands him and his manifesto, and he's so calm, but he still wants to, like, he's itching for the fight. You know, what are you doing? Come fight. And he's again rushes him, and you see soon enough as he's rushing him. Yeah, here comes another counter. Ooh, but then the chapter ends. And then chapter 13. It looks like it hit him, but no. Muy excelente, I would say. Again, more, please answer my expectations. Didn't even phase him. He's like one of the most, I do remember another boxer from Ippo who's very calm and like doesn't like get his emotions get in the way, one would say. Can't remember his name though. But again, now Billy's fighting back with those, you know, flicker jabs, or loose flickers as they're saying, point blank rage. And with Ricardo just blocking everything. It's like at a featherweight level to block a lot of moves, and it does happen, but not to get damaged at all and just predicting everything is just insane. And I mean, you can see like he's just blocking him again. Again, the art is fantastic. I just enjoy the art of Ippo. And as soon as he was gonna hit his right, he steps back, because I think he knew what was gonna happen. He was kind of scared. So close up the clam shell again, and again, just rushes him. Again, if I'm shotgunning this, or I know I've been saying that often, zooming past it. Again, it's short chapters, and it's mainly like fights, right? Or I guess physical, right? So there's not much dialogue going on. Well, I mean, even though there is, but I don't want to say it's relevant. I can't even say that word right. But the crazy thing here, if you notice, when Ricardo was punching him constantly, he was pushing him against the ropes, which is actually pretty interesting, because that's what I call great ring control, where your opponent just ends up somewhere else he didn't realize. And the funny thing is, it might be actually work pretty well for Billy, because if he's based off of Mayweather's fighting style, Mayweather fought really well against the ropes, and even similar to like Muhammad Ali with the rope-a-dope, and recently with Tyson Fury, but not as elegant, I would say. And again, constantly left. It's non-stop. It's just press run, you know, Sendo. Watching it, of course. And it's just relentless. Again, relentless. It's just non-stop. But basically, we're actually at the last chapter or last page, and as you can see, his arms look like it doesn't feel too good, which is funny. I can't honestly recall a certain boxer. I want to say Duran, you know, the Hands of Stone. He would constantly hit some, like, even if you're guarding, eventually the guard will break. Your arms do get tired, no matter how. Even if you're blocking your face and your body, your arms do eventually have to fall, either from tiredness or just it just feels like you have 1,000 pounds on them. So what he's doing right there is true Mexican style, I would say, because I did hear can't remember what a Mexican boxer would do that, but and since he's based off of Ricardo Lopez, who actually has a similar record, I believe he has 66 fights. I could check right now actually. Oh, sorry about that. It's a total of 52 fights and 51 wins, and 38 of those are won by knockout. But yeah, that's the end of that chapter. And those are the 3 chapters. That's why I want to do it really fast and compound. I guess my review for the 3 chapters, if I had to, I am reviewing it. It's very short, which I don't mind. It is a fighting manga, or a boxing manga, shonen-ish. And I'm excited. Like, Ricardo is just like relentless, and now that it's, you know, again, 3 chapters straight, I could see it ending probably about 2 or 3. It doesn't look like Billy might last that long. I don't know, it'll end up as a, you know, 1 round knockout, or maybe hopefully 3 rounds in, because again, we haven't really seen Ricardo tested that much. Maybe I won't even say against Date, so we'll have to see, because it's just, yeah. Again, the funny thing is, Billy's the one that gave up his belt so he could face Ricardo. So it's kind of like, I believe it was, I don't want to call it a mandatory fight, but I can't remember what it was. I need to read the previous chapter. So we'll see. I do believe Billy's in trouble unless he has something up his sleeve. Because aside from the Philly show, Mayweather was an amazing counterpuncher, and if he is based off him, or at least his fighting style, I would like to see that, or, you know, great head movement and stuff like that. Not that I can't remember what else I can remember, but it would be great if he could use the ropes for his advantage. And I don't know. Well, if I'm gonna be honest, Ricardo looks like he's gonna win. I wouldn't see the champ, you know, especially he is the pinnacle of, like, boxing in ippo for the featherweight division. So for him to lose, it would be like, well, then what's the point of Sendo wanting to become number 1, because he isn't the number 1, and technically Sendo is number 2 since he beat Gonzalez. And that's what I'll have to say, really. I'm just excited for more. I'll probably shotgun it again, probably 2 chapters in. That way it's more impactful, or 1 chapter, depends on what's to take. But honestly, I am enjoying it. I'm really excited. Like, is Billy gonna do anything? I'm not too sure. Ricardo, he's just Saitama, but human, I guess. You didn't have to 1-punch kill anything. But yeah, I'm just gonna end it right there. Share your thoughts in the comments, and give a like, dislike, doesn't really matter. Also, I am gonna be Twitch streaming for Wednesday, the PlayStation, I don't want to say conference, but presentation. So if you want to see me at Twitch, the links are down below, or wherever it's gonna be in the future, because YouTube will change in, let's say, 10 years, and even though YouTube still exists. But again, I am Mr. Iceshard. Enjoy your night, stay safe, and live on.